Shalom, shalom. Manakna waha ibar sha'ala walakim la'atam. Call Shabuai Barcha Wakak Shah Yahbashim Yahshua Ma'amath, which is truly Hey with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua to preach to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, and Israelite foreigners. Nachamatam Kaya Malakwat Hashemayim Korah, repent, yea, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call Layim La, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua Bahasham Chahakodash. Wa Mashana Kabarim Zukoim Nawa Wa Malaakim Shoy Shalazukoim Chagadawa. Wa Chasa Wa Shalom Wa Barakim. Laha Bacharim Shahaka Shah Shalom. All right, so all praise to the Most High Yahweh, which means He exists. Bahasham, in the name Yahweh Shai delivers. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Mercy, peace, and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom, which means peace. Hi, Rob Tawab, which is good evening. All right, today we're going into this article. It says UN releases online hate speech guide. The global body has called for social media users to tattle on purveyors of harmful content. The UN has taken Twitter to Twitter in a new campaign to battle speech that it finds objectionable, urging social media users to push back against hateful content and report offenders to police and authorities in extreme cases. Hate speech can take many different forms, the UN said on Sunday, but no matter what it looks like, the hate speech has real consequences. Hate speech has real consequences. The tweet linked to a guide on steps that the UN recommends taking action against offensive hate speech. The global organization didn't spell out what constitutes hate speech. So pretty much, it's going to push forth that Egyptian against Egyptian, you see, because pretty much anything that, people find as offensive, they might be reporting people, and then Babylon already pushes forth their propaganda. So people are already thinking a particular type of way. It says it can be hard to assess when a comment is meant as hate speech, especially when expressed in the virtual world. The tutorial said it can also feel overwhelming to try to deal with obviously hateful content. Now, Esau, pretty much, the scriptures say that Esau is a cunning hunter, you see. So pretty much this is tying into how he's a cunning hunter, because he's transitioned over to using nothing but digital, you see. So making it more difficult for people to, I guess, discern what is hate speech, you see. So this can push forth people just reporting everything is hate speech, and how much more the word, of course everybody's going to take the word as hate speech, because they're so used to this convenient society, and everybody participating there and everybody being one people, you see. So there's no question, that the scriptures would be hate speech, all right, to these people. It says the UN has, it says the global organization didn't spell out what constitutes hate speech. It can sometimes be hard to assess when a comment is meant as hate speech, especially when expressed in the virtual world. The tutorial said it can also feel overwhelming to try to deal with obviously hateful content. The UN has previously defined hate speech as offensive discourse targeting a group or an individual based on inherent characteristics such as race, religion, or gender, and that may threaten social peace. Earlier this month, it declared June 18th as the International Day for Countering Hate Speech. And so pretty much, it's hate speech for everybody other than Jake. All right, that's pretty much what they're saying. It's hate speech for everybody other than Jake. It says we are far from powerless in the face of hate speech. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said we can and must raise awareness about dangers and work to prevent and end it in all its forms. The campaign comes amid a global crackdown on hate speech, including legislation in Ireland that reportedly could allow for jailing of citizens who possess material that criticizes gender identity. Legislation passed this month by lawmakers in Michigan would enable persecutors to criminally charge people who make others feel threatened based on their sexual orientation or gender identity. The UN urged social media users to refrain from posting or forwarding any hateful content to themselves and to speak out when other people are targeted by such messaging. The tutorial called for refuting misinformation and offensive content to make sure hate is not dominant narrative is not the dominant narrative, as well as reporting hateful commentators to social media platforms for more serious cases which constitute incitement to violence, harassment, and or other threats prohibited by law. Notify organizations fighting hate speech and or file a complaint with the police or public prosecutor. The UN said some countries have online tools to make reporting hate speech easier. Such countries as Sweden, Denmark, Belgium have online reporting systems for hate speech. In Sweden, for instance, mean statements about ethnic group or a group of people alluding to race, skin tone, ethnic background, belief of sexual orientation can constitute a criminal offense according to the government-funded group. I don't know how to say that word. We just say NPEN. So pretty much, hate speech applies to everybody other than Jake. All right. So let's get some precepts. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. It reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So pretty much, Esau Edom is coming with his campaign, you see, because he knows that his time is short. You see, so he's coming with that demonization on the word. You see, because we're in those times. We're nearing up into those times of Shah Yaquab Tazarah, of Jacob's trouble. Let's get another one. This is Amos chapter 8, and we'll get verse 11. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord." All right, Ra'aib Shal Ha-Dabarim, famine of the words, Shal Ha-Adawan, of the Lord. All right, because it's going to be a famine of the word. You see, the word isn't going to be as readily accessible as it is today. You see, so it behooves you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans to repent, and believe the gospel. And the Chamatam Kayah Malakwath Hashemayim Korah, repent, yea, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You see, believe on the words of the scriptures. You see, because it's going to come a point in time to where the Lord's mercy isn't out there. The door of mercy is going to close. You see, let's get another one. This is Kwahalat Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, "Remember now thy creator," which when you go into that word remember, it's a car to make mention, all right, to recall, bring to mind thy creator in the days of thy youth, when you have the opportunity to, while the evil days come not. Yaquab Tazarah, Jacob's trouble, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened." And we pretty much in those times, but it's going to increase. It's only going to increase. It's a lot of the grinders cease because they are few going into this economy. You see, you go to Yeshaya, Isaiah chapter 19 talks about there should be no work for Egypt. All right, we in those days to where they shutting down shop for Babylon the Great. All right, so pretty much we in that time of the famine of the word. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I don't want to Zaza by night Apollo as well. Those are beautiful edification through the spirit. While I don't want to Zah, Thumb, Yash, Ha, Rob, Tawab. Lord's will you all have a good evening. Hey, Shalom.